Hello, I'm Dr. Berg. I've spent a significant portion of my career helping people understand the intricate workings of the human body. And today, I want to talk to you about something I see far too often, especially in my practice with folks just like you seniors who are enjoying their golden years but are secretly battling a silent epidemic. What if I told you that one of the most common diagnoses given to Americans over 50, a condition affecting an estimated 1 in 4 adults in this country, is not only reversible, but that you could see dramatic changes in as little as 30 days? I'm talking about non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or NAFLD. Many of you might have heard this from your doctor. You have a little fat on your liver. It's common for your age. Just try to eat a bit healthier and lose some weight. This advice, while well-intentioned, is dangerously vague and often leads to a sense of hopelessness. There's a pervasive myth out there that fatty liver is a direct result of eating too much fat. It seems logical, doesn't it? Fat on the liver must come from the fat in our food. For decades, we were told to fear butter, eggs, and red meat, and to embrace low-fat yogurts, whole grain breads, and fruit juices. But what if that advice has been a massive contributor to the problem? What if the very things you were told were heart healthy were actually poisoning your liver? The truth is, the primary driver of fatty liver isn't dietary fat. It's sugar and carbohydrates. Your liver, this incredible, resilient organ, is being overwhelmed not by the steak you might have enjoyed last night, but by the toast you had for breakfast, the pasta you had for lunch, and that healthy granola bar you snacked on in between. The story you've been sold about fat is a distraction from the real culprit. Today, I'm not going to give you vague platitudes. I'm going to give you a precise, proven, and actionable plan. We're going to cut through the confusion and the noise. Over the next few minutes, I will lay out 3 foundational lifestyle changes, not just tips, but strategic shifts in your approach to health that can help you reverse fatty liver. This isn't about buying expensive exotic foods or starting a grueling marathon training program. This is about working smarter, not harder. We will dismantle the old ineffective advice and replace it with a clear roadmap. We'll talk about the real cause of fat storage in your liver, how to turn your body into a fat-burning machine by changing when you eat, not just what you eat. And finally, we'll discuss the critical nutrients that can supercharge your liver's recovery. This is your wake-up call. That diagnosis is not a life sentence. It is a signal from your body that it's time for a change. And the power to make that change is entirely in your hands, starting right now. The first and most critical step we need to take is to completely reevaluate what you're putting on your plate. For years, the conventional wisdom handed down in many doctors' offices and public health campaigns has been to cut the fat. You were told to trim the skin off your chicken, switch to skim milk, and choose margarine over butter. Yet, during this same period, rates of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and, you guessed it, fatty liver disease have skyrocketed across America. From the sun-drenched retirement communities in Florida to the bustling senior centers in Chicago, the story is the same. The old way isn't working because it's based on a fundamental misunderstanding of how the body, and specifically the liver, processes food. The problem wasn't the fat. It was the sugar and refined carbohydrates that replaced it. When you eat a low-fat, high-carb meal, think a bowl of oatmeal with brown sugar, a turkey sandwich on whole wheat bread, or a plate of spaghetti, your body breaks those carbohydrates down into glucose or sugar. This spikes your blood sugar, and in response, your pancreas releases a hormone called insulin. Insulin's job is to shuttle that sugar out of your bloodstream and into your cells for energy. But here's the crucial part. Your body can only use so much glucose at once. Any excess gets sent straight to your liver, which, under insulin's command, converts that sugar into fat. This fat is called triglycerides. A little bit is fine, but the modern American diet, loaded with breads, cereals, crackers, pasta, and hidden sugars in sauces and dressings, creates a constant flood of glucose your liver is forced to work overtime, churning out fat day after day until it can no longer export at all. That fat then begins to accumulate inside the liver cells themselves. This is the genesis of fatty liver disease. It's not fat from your diet causing this. It's a fat production factory in your liver fueled by sugar and carbs. Understanding this process is the key to reversing it. Your liver is an incredibly resilient organ. It wants to heal. You just have to stop poisoning it and give it the right materials to do its job. The solution is to flip the script entirely. We need to adopt a diet that is low in carbohydrates and high in healthy fats and moderate in protein. This approach is often called a ketogenic diet, but you don't need to get bogged down in the name. Just focus on the principle. Stop feeding the liver sugar. When you dramatically reduce carbohydrates, you starve the fat production factory. Your insulin levels plummet. Without high insulin, your liver stops creating and storing new fat. Even better, your body switches its primary fuel source from sugar to fat. It starts breaking down stored body fat, including the fat in your liver, for energy. This is how you don't just stop the progression of fatty liver, you actively reverse it. You are essentially telling your body to start cleaning house. So what does this look like in practice on your kitchen table in, say, Peoria, Illinois? It's simpler than you think. For breakfast, instead of toast or cereal, you might have 2 or 3 eggs cooked in real butter with a side of avocado. Eggs are a powerhouse of nutrients, particularly choline, which is a vital nutrient for liver health that helps transport fat out of the liver. For lunch, forget the sandwich. Have a large salad with grilled chicken or wild-caught salmon, packed with leafy greens like spinach and arugula, cucumbers, bell peppers, and a generous dressing made from extra virgin olive oil and vinegar. Olive oil is a healthy monounsaturated fat that fights inflammation. For dinner, you could enjoy a beautiful piece of grass-fed steak with a large serving of steamed broccoli or roasted Brussels sprouts tossed in butter or ghee. These cruciferous vegetables are phenomenal for the liver. They contain compounds that enhance the liver's detoxification pathways. You'll snack on nuts like walnuts or pecans, or perhaps some olives. You'll drink water, black coffee, or unsweetened tea. What you won't be eating are the potatoes, the rice, the bread, the corn, the crackers, the cookies, the cakes, and you'll be shocked to discover how much sugar is hidden in things like ketchup, salad dressings, and even canned vegetables. Reading labels becomes essential. You're looking for total carbohydrates and sugars. Your goal is to keep your total daily carbohydrate intake under 50 grams, and ideally closer to 20 grams, especially in the first 30 days. I had a patient, a gentleman named Robert from just outside of Dallas, Texas. He was 68, a retired firefighter, and his doctor had been telling him for 5 years that his fatty liver was getting worse. They told him to cut back on red meat and eat more whole grains. He was frustrated because he was following their advice but was gaining weight and feeling more fatigued than ever. When he came to see me, we put him on this low-carb, high-fat approach. He was skeptical, especially about eating more fat, but in the first 2 weeks alone, he lost 8 pounds. And he said the chronic ache he felt in his right side under his ribs had vanished. After 30 days, he went back to his doctor for blood work. His liver enzymes, which had been elevated for years, had dropped by nearly 50%. The doctor was stunned. Robert didn't just feel better. He had objective, measurable proof that his liver was healing. This wasn't magic, it was biochemistry. We simply turned off the faucet that was flooding his liver with sugar. Now, I want to check in with you. If this explanation about carbohydrates and insulin makes sense to you, and you're finding this information valuable, please just take a moment and type the number 1 inch the comments below. If this is confusing or you feel it's not helpful, please type a 0. Your feedback is incredibly important and helps me know if I'm on the right track in explaining these concepts clearly. Our second major change is about transforming when you eat, not just what you eat. This is a concept called intermittent fasting, and it is one of the most powerful tools you can use to accelerate the reversal of fatty liver. Think about it this way. In our modern American culture, we're encouraged to eat constantly. We start with breakfast the moment we wake up, have a mid-morning snack, then lunch, an afternoon pick-me-up, dinner, and often a late-night snack while watching television. We're in a constant fed state. For our ancestors, this was never the case. They experienced natural periods of fasting between successful hunts or gathers. Our bodies are actually designed to thrive with these periods of rest from digestion. When you are constantly eating, even healthy low-carb foods, you are keeping insulin levels elevated to some degree. And as we just discussed, insulin is the hormone that signals your body to store fat. Even small amounts of protein can stimulate insulin. By constantly nibbling and grazing throughout the day, you never give your body a chance to fully switch over into fat burning mode. Your liver is always in processing mode, never in deep cleaning mode. The old way of thinking, particularly for seniors, was that you needed to eat small, frequent meals to keep your metabolism up. This has been shown to be largely untrue. In fact, for liver health, it's counterproductive. Every time you eat, you activate a whole cascade of digestive and hormonal processes. Your liver has to process everything you absorb. Giving your liver a prolonged break allows it to catch up on its other 500 plus functions, including detoxification, repairing damaged cells, and, most importantly for our purposes, burning off its stored fat. When you are in a fasted state, your insulin levels drop to their absolute lowest point. This signals to your body that no new fuel is coming in, so it's time to tap into the reserves. The body first uses up stored sugar, glycogen, in the liver, and once that's gone, it begins to aggressively break down stored body fat, including the fat that has accumulated in and around your liver. Intermittent fasting is like pressing the accelerator on the fat burning process. We started with the low carb diet. It's the 1 to 2 punch that your fatty liver can't stand up against. Implementing intermittent fasting is remarkably simple and flexible. The most common and easiest way to start is with what's called 16 to 8. This means you fast for 16 hours a day and have an eating window of 8 hours. This might sound intimidating, but it's easier than you think. For most people, it simply means finishing your dinner by, say, 7 p.m. and then not eating again until 11 a.m. the next morning. You just skip breakfast. You can still have water, black coffee, or plain tea during your fasting period, as these do not break your fast. Let's imagine you live in San Diego, California. You could wake up, enjoy a cup of coffee while reading the paper or walking on the beach, go about your morning activities, and then have your first meal around lunchtime. You would then have your second meal, your dinner, before 7 p.m. That's it. 2 meals a day within an 8-hour window. No more snacking. This schedule provides a full 16-hour period every single day for your insulin levels to stay low and for your body to be in a fat-burning state. It gives your entire digestive system, especially your liver, a well-deserved rest. You might be thinking, want to be starving, want to get dizzy. This is a common concern, but here's why the combination with the low-carb diet is so magical. When your body is adapted to burning fat for fuel instead of sugar, you no longer experience those wild blood sugar swings that cause intense hunger and cravings. Fat is a much more stable, long-lasting energy source. After the first few days, most people report feeling less hungry, more energetic, and having much clearer mental focus during their fasting periods. Let me tell you about a woman from my practice, Eleanor, a 72-year-old retired teacher from Phoenix, Arizona. She was struggling with her weight and had a severe case of fatty liver. She was eating 6 small, healthy meals a day, just like her dietitian told her. She was terrified of fasting. We started her slowly, just pushing her breakfast back by an hour each day. Within a week, she was comfortably doing a 16-hour fast. She told me the most shocking part wasn't the weight loss, which was significant, but the fact that she was no longer hangry. She felt liberated from the constant need to eat. Within a month of combining the low-carb diet with a daily 16 to 8 fast, her energy levels had soared, and a follow-up ultrasound showed a visible reduction in the fat in her liver. She gave her liver the break it had been begging for. So, let me ask you again for your feedback. If this idea of giving your liver a rest through intermittent fasting seems like a powerful and practical strategy to you, please type the number 1 inch, the comments. If you're skeptical, or if this approach doesn't seem helpful or safe to you, please type a 0. I read these comments and your honesty helps me tailor my advice to better serve you. Now for our third and final piece of the puzzle, targeted supplementation and lifestyle enhancements. While the dietary changes and intermittent fasting are the heavy lifters that do about 90% of the work, we can support and accelerate the liver's healing process by ensuring it has all the raw materials it needs. The standard American diet, even a healthy version, is often deficient in key nutrients that the liver desperately requires to function optimally, especially when it's under stress and trying to repair itself. Thinking that diet alone, after decades of depletion, will instantly provide everything you need is like trying to rebuild a house without having all the necessary tools and materials delivered to the job site. It's possible, but it will be much slower and more difficult. We want to give your liver every advantage. One of the most important nutrients for a fatty liver is choline. I mentioned it briefly before, but it's worth reemphasizing. Choline is a lipotropic, which is a fancy way of saying it helps the liver process and export fats. A deficiency in choline is directly linked to the development of fatty liver. While foods like egg yolks and beef liver are incredibly rich in choline, many people simply don't eat enough of them. Taking a good quality choline supplement like phosphatidylcholine can provide an extra insurance policy, ensuring your liver has the means to package up and ship out that stored fat. Another powerful ally for your liver is milk thistle. This is an herb that has been used for centuries to support liver health. Its active compound, silymarin, is a potent antioxidant that helps protect liver cells from damage and supports the regeneration of healthy new cells. Think of it as a shield for your liver cells while they're working hard to heal. TUDCA, or taurosodioxycholic acid, is another fantastic compound. It's a type of bile salt that helps improve the flow of bile, which is crucial for digesting fats and eliminating waste products from the liver. A fatty, congested liver often has sluggish bile flow, and TUDCA can help get things moving again, essentially helping the liver take out the trash. Beyond these specific supplements, we also need to look at the bigger picture. Vitamin D is critically important. Many people with fatty liver are deficient in it. Vitamin D acts more like a hormone in the body and plays a huge role in reducing inflammation, which is always a component of fatty liver disease. The best source is sensible sun exposure. If you live in a place like Seattle, Washington, where sunshine is scarce for parts of the year, or if you're unable to get outside regularly, supplementing with vitamin D3, ideally with K2 to help with calcium absorption, is essential. We're also looking for B vitamins, especially B1, thiamine, as they are cofactors in so many metabolic processes and they get depleted by high-carb diets. A good B complex supplement can be very beneficial. Finally, don't forget potassium. We need a lot of it, and it's found primarily in vegetables, especially leafy greens. Potassium is vital for maintaining fluid balance and healthy blood pressure, and it helps the liver store sugar as glycogen instead of converting it to fat. Most Americans get nowhere near the recommended 4,700 milligrams per day. You'd have to eat between 7 and 10 cups of salad or vegetables a day to get enough. While you should strive to do that, a potassium citrate supplement can help bridge the gap. Let's put this into a real-world context. Imagine a gentleman named George, a 75-year-old retiree in Naples, Florida. He's adopted the low-carb diet and is fasting for 16 hours a day. He's feeling better, but his progress has plateaued. We add in a daily regimen, a choline supplement with his first meal, milk thistle and TUDCA before bed to support the liver's overnight repair cycle, and a good dose of vitamin D3 with K2. He also makes a conscious effort to get 15 to 20 minutes of morning sun on his arms and legs. He starts focusing on getting at least 7 cups of leafy greens daily to boost his potassium. Within 2 weeks of these additions, he breaks through his plateau. His energy levels improve even more. The lingering brain fog he had finally lifts completely, and his next blood test shows his liver enzymes are now well within the normal range. The diet and fasting were the engine of his recovery, but these targeted nutrients were the high-octane fuel and lubrication that made everything run more smoothly and efficiently. These aren't magic pills, but they are powerful tools that support the incredible healing journey you've already started with your food choices. So, one last time, I'd appreciate your feedback. Does this strategy of using targeted supplements to support your liver's healing process make sense to you? If you find this information helpful and empowering, please type a 1. If it seems too complicated or you don't believe in supplements, please let me know by typing a 0. Thank you for participating. It truly helps. So, let's take a moment and bring this all together. We've covered a lot of ground, but the path forward is clear and straightforward. We started by dismantling the great myth that dietary fat makes your liver fat. We now understand that the true culprits are sugar and refined carbohydrates, which force your liver into becoming a nonstop fat production factory. The first, most powerful step you can take is to shut down that factory by adopting a low carbohydrate, high healthy fat diet rich in nutrient-dense foods like eggs, avocados, leafy greens, and quality proteins. Next, we learned the profound importance of when you eat. By incorporating intermittent fasting, specifically the 16 to 8 method, you give your liver a much-needed extended break each day. This simple shift in your schedule allows your insulin levels to drop, turning on your body's natural fat-burning machinery and allowing your liver to finally begin healing and cleaning itself out. And finally, we identified the key support players, targeted nutrients like choline, milk thistle, TUDCA, and vitamin D that act as powerful allies, providing your liver with the specific tools it needs to protect itself, regenerate its cells, and efficiently remove the accumulated fat. These 3 strategies, when combined, create a powerful synergy that doesn't just put a Band-Aid on the problem. It addresses the root cause and empowers your body to reverse the damage. This journey is about so much more than just healing your liver. It's about reclaiming your vitality and taking back control of your health in your golden years. This is a time in your life that should be filled with energy, clarity, and joy, not fatigue, brain fog, and a constant worry about your health. So often we accept these symptoms as just a normal part of aging. I'm here to tell you that it is not normal, and you do not have to accept it. Your body has an incredible innate capacity to heal. My role is simply to show you how to unlock that potential. This isn't about deprivation. It's about nourishment on a cellular level. It's about choosing to give yourself the gift of health, one meal at a time. The lesson here extends far beyond your liver. It's a testament to the fact that you are not a passive victim of your genetics or your age. You are the chief architect of your own well-being. So here's my call to action for you today. Don't just be a passive listener. Become an active participant in your own health story. Start today. Pick one thing from our discussion. Maybe it's just cutting out bread for the next 30 days. Maybe it's trying to push your breakfast back by 1 hour. Small steps create incredible momentum. I want you to make a commitment to yourself right now. And I want to hear from you. In the comment section below, tell me, what is the one single action you are going to take this week based on what you've learned today? Declaring your intention is a powerful first step. If you found this information valuable and you believe it can help others, please do me a favor and share this with your friends, your family, your neighbors, anyone you care about who might be struggling with their health. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more straightforward, no-nonsense health advice that can truly change your life. Thank you for your time and your attention. Your health is your greatest asset. It's time to start investing in it.